Sorry everyone, I made a mistake. I was just looking through the code. We don't want to see our high score when our game is being paused. We want to see it when our game is over. So this time you have to learn this drag. Click on this high score. You left click, then drag it upward to our life is equals to 0 and place it there. Now do the same for the score. That's it. Now you can delete this because we don't need it anymore here to make our code lighter. We really want our retry and home button to come up once we pause our game. But this we want to see it once our game is over, and this also copy this Ctrl C, paste it here. Copy this also Ctrl C and paste it here. So each time our life is equals to 0, we want to see those stuff there. Now let's play it and see. Let's pause. Yes, this is what we want to see, and let's intentionally kill ourselves once again and see if it's working. Okay, it's working. Now let's work on the retry button. So once the game is over and we want to retry or play again, we just click it, hit it, and it will play again. So let's go and work on that now. Now add a new event right here. Okay, now I copy this, Ctrl C and paste it here. Now click the button, try again. I'll try again button. Now you go to action and say click the try again button and go to scene. Oh sorry, don't just click other action, go to scene and say change the scene to this one we are using, which is the game scene. So for that, now click hit OK. Now let's see if our retry button is working. You can put trigger once, but it's not necessary. So let's play it again and see that if our retry button is working. Now let's pause the game, and retry should be the light screen. Now retry. Now let's play it and intentionally kill ourselves and see if it is working. Now let's retry this game. Retry. So it's working fine. So let's create our score, because each time we die we will be seeing our high score and score. Let's go and create that now. Our point is being added when colliding with the gem. Our life is being minus when colliding with the bomb. Our game is being paused. Now let's create our high score and our score to make the game more interesting. Now to add high score to our game, just go to the game scene. See our high score is not doing anything. Right click, same properties, edit same properties, same variable, add a new variable for high score. And set it to number and apply. Now go to the event and copy this and paste and change life to the points and change the number to variable. High score we just created. Now set it to greater than. Now copy this also. I will explain when we're done. And set the high score to set to our game points. So let me explain. If our points or anytime our point is greater than the high score, which is our high score now is 0, is going to update the high score to set to our points. That's what all this code is saying. So let's create a test modifier our for our high score. Let me see if I have anyone. I don't include them again. Okay, this is a test modifier. Copy this and paste it right here. Or can create a new event if I don't want to have a problem or a bug. So just paste it here or drag it and drop it here. Now change this point to high score and set this other place to high score. To string high score. Now for our score, we just copy this. It's going to use the same variable with our points. So just change this to score. Because this is what the player will see once the game up. And now change it to score. And just leave the variable points because they're using the same variable. Now you can save this and let's run it. F4 to run. Let's intentionally kill ourselves and see what happens. Our high score is being, our points score is being updated to 5. Our high score is being updated to 5. Let's retry this game and get a lesser score and see if. Let me just take a look. Like I'm literally dodging the gym we should be taking from game end. So what is happening here is we are not saving the high score variable. That's why it's putting to change to 2. So the next thing within this phase of this course is save and load state. So let's close this. At least our points, our score on high score is again. Let's close this and work on our save and load states. To save the game in gdevelop is quite easy. It's complex somehow if you don't know it then. But just follow my step. If the player life is equal to 0, want to save the game. So just click action and click on high score, or you can just click on others and go straight to save game. Or just come down here to storage and you see save a value, and that value you want to save is our high score value. So the name of this storage I'm just going to call them and save game. Then we go call it data. Now for the expression, we want to call our high score variable, which is our high score. Hit OK. Now each time our life is equal to 0, our game is saved. Now let's load this at the top of the scene. Each time we refresh our game, our high score value will see it here. So just double click it here and change it to load value. And the name of the value I want to load is high score, and click OK. Now you can save this and run it F4. Now we have save states. Our variable and our high score variable will be saving, and you see it working. This is our high score of 6. Let's reload this and get the lesser score and see if our code and our high score value is still going to be 6, because we don't want to get more than 6. Okay, fine, it's working. Since our point is not greater than the high score, our high score is 6, because we save the state, that's why we are seeing the 6. So our high score and our save game is working. So this is it for this phase of this course. Now to make this game more interesting, we need to add a variable that will increase the speed of our game. And to do that, we need to go to our game scene and create that variable. Now add a new variable for change game speed. Now apply. Set it to number and leave it to 0. Now apply. Go to events. To call this variable, we need a timer. So let's get a new timer. Copy this and paste it here. Now this timer will be called game speed. So this timer will be called game speed. Now set it to 30 seconds. Once every 30 seconds, we want to update our change game speed to 1. Once our game speed is changed to 1, we want to increase the speed of our game. Now copy this up and paste it here. Now change this to the variable, just like the change game speed to add 1. If your own is not adding 1, make sure it's adding 1. Now I want to reset this timer. Copy and paste this here. Now game speed. Now put your trigger once right here, so it will only happen only once and put out our game thing. And let's add a new event. Add a new event and call our game speed. Our game speed is equals to 0, which is the default value of it. We want to drop down our gene, the first of our gene. I don't want to keep like creating a separate code for our gym and our bomb. So what we'll do is you go to game scene, you go to group and add a new group which is called objects. Now double click and add our gym and our bomb objects. Now hit apply. Now go to our event and change this to that group we just created. Objects. You can delete this bomb now. It will work for both. Now what we do is we have to make this sub event to this change game speed. So you drag this into here just as I'm doing now. You see the way it is. Drag this to into that same points. Now this function will work based on this game variable now. So having this concept, having doing this now, we don't have to print this again. We just have to copy this whole code, Ctrl C, Ctrl V, and what we do is to change the game speed to one, and we increase that speed maybe by 600 or 700. These are our speed too. Now let's get our third speed. So while we're doing this, we're just making the game interesting so that the player can die. If not, some people will just keep playing without dying. So let's change this to 2. And by doing that, we're making the game interesting. Now let's change the speed to maybe 900. It should be very, very fast for our player to catch and to know which one to dodge and catch. So this now will increase our game speed. This is the mechanics I use in increasing the game speed for this game. Now let's create a new event. You can just drag this up over here. That will rotate our gym object. So just click on gym. As I said, this is a bonus. It's optional to skip this part of this course. I'm just making the game more interesting. Now rotate. Now let's save this, Ctrl S and run it. Now gym is being up and rotating. Let's just wait till 30 seconds if the speed increase. Now don't know if our speed is increasing or not. So what we do is what we call debugging. That debugging will let us know if our game speed is increasing or not. So let's modify. Before we modify a test to this our game speed, let's go create a test for it. This victory score, we're not going to have a victory score since our game is a endless game. There's no time we're gonna show there's no time we'll be showing victory in this game. So just change it to debug game speed. Now hit apply, drag it to the same, and Go to events and check a new. Let's modify the text of our variable, which is the game speed. So as we did before, keyboard game speed. Just click speed. And by doing so, we'll be able to see our game speed once it gets updated. So let's review this and see it. So once you start seconds, our game speed is going to update. So let's make this to at least 5 seconds, which is better. So we are going to know if it's updating or not. Like our game speed is not updating. That's because the that's because the variable here is saying points. You're supposed to say change game speed. Sorry for the mistake, guys. The programmer, it's not everything you're saying. You can save this and let's run this again. Our game speed should be able to update every 5 seconds now. We are still having the same bug. Let me pause check. I'll get back to you when I fix it. Now, before we run this game again, this point is giving me headache. So let's change this score over here to 0 and apply it. I don't want the player to know when we are changing to variable points. Now, if you run this game again, then I see a bug, and that bug will fix it. So you can see once it got to 2, it will see at 3. And again freezes. So to fix this is quite easy. I've created this game before. That's when I know we have error. Yeah. So just set this to equal or greater than 2. Set it to 2. So when we are doing so, we want to also modify our test objects that debug the game speed to know if our game is set to 2. So let's run it one more time and see. So it's still set to 2 even though it's over 5 seconds. So this is how to fix the bug. But you can see once it's 2, our gems and our bump is scanty, giving the player enough time to dodge those objects. So what we'll be doing in the next phase of this course is to adjust the time of each of these dub value to reduce it. So when our speed is equals to 2, we want to set the time to around 2 seconds and set this one 0.1 seconds, so our player will have many gems created at the same time to dodge. We'll be able to know when our speed has added 1 in our game scene. So let's set this variable over here to change game speed variable, which we just created, and also set this to 5 seconds. We can't wait that long. Remember to start this scene at the beginning of the scene. The timer at the beginning of the scene, just drag it up there, and also you can just press off F4 to check if it's working. This is our first speed, and this is our second speed. And you can see let's just click to the third speed, our game pauses, which we can fix quickly because we don't have any speed and we are not calling any speed thread. That's why our game pauses, so the program don't know what to do next. So just copy this and paste it over here. That's how to fix the bug. Each time our speed is set to 2, we want to set it permanently to 2, so it will stop freezing or going to 3, and that will fix the bug. And you have another thing I notice right here, this point is being kind of updated to the uppercase point, so just put it uppercase point, so when it's updated the player will know when we're using the variable point. You can save this. Okay, let's adjust the time here. So let's set this to 1 and set this also to 2, and let's also change this to 0.3 and set this to 1. Now hit save and let's run this. You can see how interesting the game is looking now. You can see how the interesting game is looking now. So that's it for this. Well, yes, one thing I'm still observing, you can see when our gym and bomb is being created, they are being created together, like they are twins merged together. I don't want that. So what we'll do is copy this and paste it here. So you see when bomb and gym, bomb is colliding with gym, we want to separate the two objects. So just go here and go to, you can go to position, or separate. Separate objects, separate either gym or bomb, and say bomb will move. So that will fix the error. Let's run this one more time and see. Okay, you see that one right there, you see this other one, at least they're not joining together again. We have fixed that error. Now we are done with the debugging. Let's increase this back to the normal speed, which is 30 seconds, and also delete this. We don't need this anymore in the scene. You can leave it over here or just delete it. Don't need anymore in the scene. Now we'll be creating extra 2 scene, as I told you before when we are starting this project. This will be our home scene, and the second one will be about here you write your name, that you are the one that created this game as a programmer, and that's it. So in the next video of this course we'll be linking our home button to this home, and from our home we can go to about. So within that right now,